Okay, grab a snack, grab a notebook. We're gonna dive into my top picks for summer fragrances. We are here in the depths of summer, and for those of you that know that I love talking about fragrance, maybe you've been like, okay, Kelly, hello. Are you gonna give us some summer scents? I've been waiting. I wanted to wait till it really felt very summery. First of all, part of it is the fact that summer has just been flying by. But now that I feel like we're in the depths of it, I want to share with you all of the things that I have been wearing, all of the things that I'm looking forward to wearing. So that's what we're going to dive into today. But if we haven't met before, my name is Kelly and I'm a professional hair and makeup artist. And here on my channel, I strive to keep beauty real. Real honest, real relatable, and real fun. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, don't forget to click subscribe and hit that notification bell so we don't miss out on future videos. Okay, we're going to dive right in. I have about 15 fragrances, including one that I recently purchased that I can't find right now, which is really making me mad. But luckily I've worn it enough that I can give you all my rambles and thoughts on it. So I have specifically picked fragrances that really exude summer to me. And some of these are maybe like one-offs for a lot of you, or maybe like, oh, I never would have thought about that one. I don't know. I think that this is a pretty unique collection of summer scents. I will say that I also tried to talk about fragrances that I may not have mentioned in the past. So I will have my previous summer fragrance picks video linked down below. I also did one this spring, which I feel like most of the time spring can kind of be transitioned into summer. I also have one more sort of summer themed fragrance video that's coming up soon. Lots of fragrance content because I've been doing lots of fragrance purchasing. So those things are coming, but I will have more fragrance content linked down below if you'd like to keep exploring my favorites. All right, we're gonna dive right in. So I sort of loosely base these off of category or vibe, right? So I want to start off right away. I did go ahead and pull up notes on these scents. Now I will say that personally, I like to pull up notes on the brand websites. I know that a lot of people use Fragrantica. They like to put that cute little picture up. I used to do that as well. However, I have found in my deep diving that sometimes Fragrantica puts up notes that aren't necessarily actually in the fragrance, and sometimes they miss notes that are. I think it's actually almost like a Wikipedia type vibe where you can vote on changing the ingredients or something. I don't know, but I just find that it isn't always 100% accurate. That being said, sometimes I do grab them because they're just like easier to go off of than like the very lengthy descriptions that sometimes brands have, designer brands. It's usually the more expensive brands. Rather than giving you notes, they give you like a whole scent story, and it's like, I don't need to post a whole paragraph here for you. So in that case, I have taken screenshots of the notes off of Fragrantica. Okay, so starting out with Ellis Brooklyn Myth. This one I did go onto the website for, so that's where I kind of started off on that ramble. But this is clean human vibes, right? Like, I want to say out of the shower, but to me that like freshly showered thing often is equated to aquatic notes, and this does not have that. This is just that clean skin, a little bit cozy. I also think that you could pair this with any other fragrance to give it more of that skin scent vibe, that cozy thing, that sort of like personalized fragrance. It's a little bit molecular, but also a little bit more special than that. So the notes in this are bergamot, ambrette seeds, and cassis in the top. I have found that I have a lot of fragrances that I love ambrette in. There's just something to it. So the mid notes are tiger orchid, pink lotus, and jasmine petals, and the dry down is patchouli, liquid musks, white cedar wood. Okay, so all of those things, think about them and then like turn them down. Put a softening filter over them. You know, you might think of some of those florals, the jasmine, the orchid. You might think like, whoa, is it kind of screechy? No, it's not a screechy floral. I don't even know that I would necessarily consider this a floral. You know how I feel about patchouli. If it is out there, if I can smell patchouli, I am not gonna like it. I don't get that from this. This is very musky, airy, not even citrusy from that bergamot. It is really well blended. I got a great deal on this from Ulta, I believe it was. And while compared to all of the fragrances that I have, this doesn't necessarily stand out as like a, oh my gosh, this is in my top 10 fragrances. It is one that in the summertime I think is so nice to pair to soften down things. You can use it as like, okay, this is an easy reach, a quick grab, something that I know is always gonna work. If you're gonna be in a situation where you want a little something, but maybe you're gonna be in close proximity to people, you know, something like that. It's nice. It's very nice. I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I got it at a good deal, but I'm also very glad I got it. Okay, here is one that I blind bought. And it's not very often that I do that. Now, granted, if you saw my last fragrance video, the 5 under 50, I blind bought all of those. That was a risk. But this one I bought, now granted, this would have been under $50 even at full price. This is from Dua, and this is Halle, the Shooting Star. It is based off of, it's supposed to be a dupe of Halle from Tiziana Terenzi. Now, I think it's Halle. Is it Haley? This one is Halle. I think that the scent from Tiziana Terenzi is as well. So I took a risk on this. I did just get the small size because, again, I was taking a risk, and I kind of wanted to see how I felt about the travel size packaging. More thoughts on these because I still have not done a video on my second Dua haul. This is from that haul, by the way. But I did it because I bought Jeremy Orion. I got Orion in, I think, Scentbird at some point in time, and it's just such a wonderfully blended scent that I was like, okay, I've not tried a lot from that scent house. I would like to try more, so I decided to just go for this because the notes sounded really interesting, and I figured why not? Luckily, I really like it. So this has notes of passion fruit, cassis, rose, lemon, peach, raspberry, floral notes, green notes, cinnamon, musk, vanilla, woody notes, and amber. Whew, that's a lot, right? Okay, so I think I need to get my nose on more passion fruit because, well, not on actual passion fruit. I've eaten a lot of passion fruit, but like passion fruit notes, because if that's what's in here, I'm really vibing on it. This to me, you know, right now, everybody and their brother has a lemon forward scent, right? In fact, I have one that you probably all know about here listed as well, but like everybody has their sort of like lemony, citrusy thing going on right now, sweet lemony, candied lemon, lemon baked goods thing going on. This is that without the baked goods part, but it is elevated, classy. It's more. It's all of that and more. Now, I definitely get the lemon, but not in a screechy cleaning product way. I get the raspberry, I get the vanilla, the musk, and the wood and the amber. So this is like, when I think of a lemon creamy sort of vibe, I think of it as maybe a little bit warmer and richer. This is cool. Like this is iced lemon gelato with, not that you'd want to eat it, but like with some floral notes. I get the rose, but it is not like rose forward to me. It's in there. You can get it, but you're not going to immediately think, oh, this is a rose fragrance. It's really good. When I go through this, will I pick up the full size? Yes, absolutely. Even at the full size, I think that one is like $50 at full price, which never shop Dua at full price because they have sales going all the time. Okay, so absolutely happy that I bought that one. So I was just talking to you about the whole lemony baked good type thing. I just have a sample of this. It's on my wish list. I'm kind of waiting for a sale. This is Acro Bake. So my friend Jody sent this over to me and I really like it. I was not sure I was going to like this. I was kind of like, most lemon things, we don't get along. But she really likes it and she's like, you really need to try this. So I am so glad that I did. The thing about this is it is warmer. It's warmer. You get a little bit of that like freshly baked pound cake. You get a little bit of that flour. And I don't mean like floral, I mean like gluten. You know what I mean? Like flour. So we have lemon peel, chantilly cream, praline, brown sugar, and vanilla in here. So I think it's definitely more vanilla forward than Halle. I think that praline also gives it more sweetness. This is not a sweet fragrance. This is not a sweet fragrance. This is more tart, yet it has some of that like musk vanilla ambery kind of feel to it, but it's not sweet. This is definitely on the sweeter side. So it depends on what kind of citrus that you like, but it's not screechy. Halle's not screechy. I feel like sometimes when you think of florals with lemon, you're like, it's not like that. It's beautifully blended. But Acrobake is such a fun one. I would probably pair these together actually, because Halle actually lasts a pretty long time on me. Acrobake did not, like especially the lemon part of it. After, I would say 2 hours, I don't get any of that lemon. Now maybe I've gone nose blind to it, but I really get more of that like cozy vanilla-y vibe after a while, and I would like the lemon to stick around a little bit longer, so I could see cocktailing those two together. All right, here is one that I picked up last year on mega sale at Ulta, and I'm so glad that I have it because it makes me so darn happy. This is Calyx or Calyx from Clinique. Now this used to be a prescriptive scent, and that was how I first got it, I'm pretty sure. And then Clinique bought it out. Honestly, I don't even remember at this point. This is bright, zesty, punch you in the face. Like in a good way, you know, but like wake you the F up. That's exactly what this is. If you need a mood booster, if you need something to re-energize you, this is it. This is absolutely it. And you know, I think that this is going to be a polarizing scent though. This is to me not necessarily a blind buy, but since it is a Clinique one, you can go to into just about any department store. You know, you might even be able to smell it at Ulta. So this has the top notes of grapefruit, mandarin, passion fruit, mango, guava, green leaves, and papaya. Okay, we have a lot of fruity citruses there. The green leaves, yep, I get all of that. It's very green, very zesty. The heart notes are lily of the valley, freesia, neroli, lily, rose, marigold, and jasmine. So you're getting a lot of florals in there, which I think is where this is what makes it more of something that you need to smell first, because I get the zesty more than I get the floral, but it's definitely in here. The base notes are oak moss, sandalwood, orris, and vetiver. So you have definitely more of that cozy, yet woody, earthy type vibe at the very end. And I think that's also probably what gives this some longevity. It actually lasts a decent amount of time. It's just, there's something about spraying this. Like, it's just like, yeah. I'm sure Clinique is never gonna hire me to do their marketing. Yeah. Can you imagine? Clinique Calyx. Yeah, that would be their slogan. Okay, moving right along. So we're talking about zesty citruses. This is a new to me fragrance. I've worn it twice, and let me tell you, it is a banger. This was actually sent over from RMS. This is Scarlet Moon. This is their collaboration scent with Heretic. I was so excited to see that RMS was doing a fragrance, and they recently reached out to me about sending me some other products with their anniversary sale. And I just happened to mention, I was like, by the way, do you have any small samples of Scarlet Moon? Because I love fragrance. I do fragrance content, and I really would be curious to smell it. And they were so kind, they offered to send a full-size bottle. So thank you so much to RMS. You all know that I really love a lot of the things that RMS makes. I have bought quite a few. I have been gifted some as well, including this fantastic fragrance. So this is not for the faint of heart. And I don't mean that in like a, oh, it's too much way, but you have to enjoy citrus, because this is going to punch you in the face with that citrus note. I think that it is boldly delicious. So in the top notes, you have blood orange, petitgrain heart, and Italian mandarin. Now to me, right off the bat, I get more grapefruit from this. Maybe it's more because this is all plant derived, by the way. Maybe it's, you know, when you are like ripping into a blood orange and that the oils of the zest like come up and you get that like, whoa, maybe that's what this is, but it really screams grapefruit to me. So then we have the heart notes of violet leaf, absolute, galbanum, black pepper, and fir needle. So now that I know that there's fir in here, I do get that. You definitely get a good amount of woodiness. That galbanum or galbanum, I don't know which it is, but it gives that resiny, fossilized amber, earthy kind of vibe to it. Like, it's like piney a little bit, but I always say like resin. To me, it just smells resiny. I don't know how to explain it other than that. But anyway, the other notes in here are Hinoki, cedar leaf, and Virginia cedarwood. Oh, I meant to, let me back up to the other notes. So the violet leaf, you get a little bit of that greenness. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a very bright scent. The black pepper, I luckily don't really get a lot of. It's just in there. It brings a little bit of rich depth to it. I really am finding that anymore. I just don't like black pepper too much. The thing that I think about that is it keeps this scent very unisex. You know, I think it keeps it from being too floral, too sweet. I would never call this a sweet fragrance though, but like it gives it some balance. In the base notes, Hinoki, I really love Hinoki. It's an ingredient that Heretic uses in their fragrances, cedar leaf, Virginia cedarwood. So we're getting a lot of that wood, and that's exactly what you get. So in this, when you spray it, it's like you just cut open a grapefruit, blood orange evidently, right in my face. And then I get a little bit of that ancient, yeah, I'm gonna say like ancient materials, you know, that resin, that from the earth kind of vibe, and it softens down into that woody note. It's really nice. I don't think that this is the most long-lasting fragrance. You have a lot of things in here that really don't have a lot of longevity. A lot of citruses really don't sit on the skin a really long time, in my opinion, but it does dry down to that soft woody note. So you're still left with an enjoyable fragrance at the end, but it's not gonna be, you know, your powerhouse beast mode fragrance. I don't think a lot of us expect that from, you know, fully naturally derived fragrances anyhow. At least I don't, but it's very wonderful, and I'm so grateful to the brand for sending it over to me. This is one that I'm really gonna enjoy wearing. Okay, so now let's talk about the other Heretic fragrance that I have in here. So this is Dirty Coconut, and I love this. So if you love the idea of coconut, but you find that a lot of coconut scents out there are too sweet, they're too sickly, maybe you find them to be a little bit immature, a little too adolescent, this is sexy coconut. Sexy, refined, great coconut. It's great. This is probably my favorite coconut fragrance that I have, and I do have several. So in the top here we have cedar and vanillin, which is derived from clove. Then you have coconut CO2. In the base you have sandalwood, vanilla absolute, and ambrettalloid. Okay, so you have just cut open a fresh coconut, and you are sipping on the coconut water while that open coconut is toasting in the sun. It is so good. Like, you've ripped it open on a piece of like driftwood. You're getting the warm driftwood smell. You're getting that warmed up coconut flesh. This is not pina colada. This is not sunscreen. This is delicious, pure, yummy coconut vibes. I love it. If you are a coconut fan, definitely need to get your nose on this one. Okay, so moving into a fragrance that I am so excited to see that they brought back this summer. So we have Diptyque ILO, and I bought this after smelling all the smells in Chicago with my friend Liz when we went to Murs Apothecary, and this is just so unique. It is so unique in my collection. This is fun in a bottle. It's fun, it's fresh, it's flirty. It's like all of the summer things without being stereotypical. So good. So the notes in here are prickly pear, bergamot, jasmine, and iris. So you get a little bit of that like citrusy, bright vibe, the prickly pear. This is the scent that made me want to search out more prickly pear scents because it is just lovely. The jasmine and the iris are soft enough. Jasmine is something that I enjoy, but it can be really overpowering in some sense, and it is not in this. It's a little youthful, and I don't mean that in a overly immature way. I don't mean that like, hey, this is your first Bath and Body Works like spray. It's not like that. It's just so fun and carefree that it makes me think about being young. So that's it. I think we can stop there. But I know that Diptyque fragrances are not exactly inexpensive. I actually found this on Mercari. It's worth it though. I'm happy to have it. Okay, so now let's move into this one. This I got after trying several scents in a Sephora scent sampler, and this is the one that I picked out. It is very unique in my collection. I don't think that I've had anything before in my collection that is kiwi forward. This is the Valentino Donna Born in Roma Coral Fantasy, and this is a fun one. Now this is probably the sweetest, second sweetest scent. This is one of the sweeter scents in these picks. I find that in the summertime, if I'm out in the heat, I'm not wanting something overly sweet. I also have told you before, as a hairdresser, as a makeup artist, I am like literally this close to people sometimes. So I don't want to wear something that's going to be overly cloying. This is nice. The kiwi and the Brazilian orange in the top really give you, again, that like burst of zesty, fruity, fun vibes. Then you have jasmine, ambrette. I don't get an overly, rose can really take over a scent, and you definitely don't get that in here. If it is in here, it's in slight amounts. So then they have the base note as ambrette seeds, and they say that this brings warmth and softness combined with woody musks. You just get such a fun, fruity, slightly sweet without being cotton candy. I don't like something that is like, you're getting more fructose from this, you know? It's sweet from the fruitiness. It's not sweet from notes of caramel, toffee, honey, cotton candy, spun sugar, which is basically cotton candy. You know what I'm saying? That's not in here. I really like this one. All right, we're gonna move on to one that I've talked about a lot. This is in my top 10 fragrances of all time. I'm gonna say it. So this is 4160 Tuesdays, Fruits of the Tree of Knowledge. This is one, immediately when I am done with this, I will buy another bottle. In fact, I panic bought this bottle because this is a UK-based brand, and on the Olfactive website, when I got it in a sample, I was like, oh wait, oh my gosh, are they not making this anymore? It's not even like listed in stock on the brand site. Oh my gosh. Not really quite realizing that it's probably like batches are made at a time, and most small businesses can't make all the things all the time. So this is just so good. Okay, so the notes: cherry jam, raspberry, lemon, orange, peach, watermelon, flowers, and a woody sandalwood accord. It says on here reach. I think that that is a mistype from Olfactive. So I know that there actually isn't cherry in this scent. The brand says that you just sort of get cherry jam out of this, but it's not actually a cherry note in here. So if you're looking for cherry, I personally don't think you're going to get it out of this. It's much more raspberry to me, which I would prefer. Raspberry to me is more summertime, bright, a little bit tart. You do get some of the citrus, but again, it just lends to the brightness. Do I get watermelon in here? Maybe just a bit. Maybe the underlying, like, not super sweet watermelon, like almost more the watermelon rind. Oh, this is just so good. It is crisp. It's crisp fruit, not sticky sweet. I know it says jam in here, but it's not overly sweet. It's almost cold. It's cold fruit. It's so freaking amazing. I have a strong connection to this one. I have given samples to people. I have talked to people about this. I don't know that anyone else has necessarily had as strong of a connection to it as I have, but it's amazing. I absolutely love it. So I just always have to share it when it's time to talk about, well, all the things. I think I've worn this all times of year. I like it this time of year because it's not too sweet to wear, but it's fruity and fun. I like it in the wintertime because it cheers me up. So it's one that I'll wear all year round. All right, the next one is one that I actually talked about in my Scent Sunday on Instagram. Make sure you're following me there. I some weeks pick a scent sample to share on Sundays with my friend Stephen Ford. So we are sort of sporadically doing that right now, but it is fun to talk about the fragrance samples we have. Now, I got this sample in the clean fragrance kit from Sephora, well knowing the fragrance that I was going to get. I got it for the Gold Plus because it's a great deal. But I tried this and I was like, gosh, this is actually really nice. Now, when I did my review on Instagram, I said, I don't know that it is full bottle worthy because the lasting power isn't incredibly long at the price that the brand charges for full price, which again, happens a lot with clean labeled fragrances or like more naturally derived fragrances, whatever you want to call it. But what I did say is this is date night summer perfume. By the way, should I just tell you what it is? So it's Life of the Party from Sens. I still have a little bit of the sample left. This is just, it's so many things I love about sexy date night scents done in a softer way for summer. Now, what ended up happening is Ipsy ended up having this in their drop shop for like at least half off. So I just took it as a sign to get the scent because I was like, this is a great deal. Now this has black currant, peach blossom, saffron, midnight jasmine, and ambrox in it. There are notes here that scream to me date night heavy, but there are other notes that sort of like soften it out. So the black currant and the saffron, the midnight jasmine, those can tend to be a little bit heavier. So what I think is the peach blossom and the ambrox sort of lighten it up. You know, they give it a little bit more of that airy quality. So even now, actually, as I am like, I sprayed it on the card and I'm getting whiffs of this, I get, if you like Baccarat Rouge 540, this is like a fruitier version of that. But you have some of those notes that like sex appeal. It's like that type of sexy vibe softened out a little bit with some fruitiness. It's really nice. I do wish it lasted a little bit longer, but for the price, you know, getting it at that deal, I love it. I'm glad to have it in my collection now. See, that's why sometimes those little scent samplers are fun to get, because maybe you find something new. You know, maybe you had a safe product in that set that you're like, okay, if nothing else, I can at least get that one, but maybe you find something fun. It could also be a little dangerous because now instead of getting one fragrance, now I have two from that set. Okay. So now let's talk about this one. I recently shared my Middle Eastern fragrance haul, and this is Pistachio Hair from Paris Corner. And I mentioned that this is a recommendation from my friend Alicia from Alicia Budget Beauty. This is definitely inspired by Kayali's Pistachio Gelato, but it's nuttier. It's a little richer, I would say, and it lasts one heck of a lot longer. It lasts a heck of a lot longer. And it's also like under 50 bucks. Beautiful bottle, beautiful scent. This, you still get a bit of that fresh vibe from the bergamot in here. You get that creaminess, that nuttiness. It definitely is like a double dose of the pistachio, which is what I wanted from the Kayali scent, and I just didn't quite get it. I like that scent, but to me that's almost like, maybe not quite a freshie, but it's like definitely not, this is like a summer gourmand to me. I mean, I'm gonna wear this one all times of the year, but it is yummy enough, it's rich enough, it's sweet enough that I would consider it a gourmand, but it's not like overly cloying. Definitely summer appropriate. Maybe not in like 105 heat if I'm gonna be like stuck in an elevator with people kind of thing, but definitely one. Okay, so I should probably give you the notes on this. We have Italian bergamot, pistachio ice cream, hazelnut, sweet rum, cardamom. Then we have geranium, white peony, you have lily of the valley, jasmine, raspberry, white peach, and pear. Then we have whipped cream, marshmallow, cotton candy, Turkish delight, accord, cocoa, cedarwood, sandalwood, and tonka bean. I don't get cocoa and I don't get pear. The rest of it I pretty much definitely get. So hopefully you at least get an idea. I mean, again, I think I got this for like $40, $45. Definitely a hit. If you like pistachio gelato and you want something for much less money, or you want something that's gonna last much longer on your skin, I would definitely give that one a try. All right, the last fragrance I wanna talk about, now you will notice that most of these aren't floral heavy. I just can't in the summertime wear something that is like heavily floral most of the time. I did, I think, have a couple floral picks in my spring picks, so if you love a good floral, you might wanna check that video out. But I have one here that I wanna talk about, and this is a floral fragrance that I definitely feel like I can wear in the summer. So this is Sotil from Yosh. And this again is one that I sampled through my olfactive subscription. I have since canceled it because I have so many samples, but I just absolutely love that subscription. So in here we have tea rose, lily of the valley, champagne, sparkles, and sweet kisses. That's literally what it says. I get lemon in here, or like grapefruit or something. To me, it gives it this note that is like bright. It's not too mature. It's definitely a youthful, young floral. I think you could definitely wear this in higher heat. It's just clean. It's like a clean floral. Yeah, I love it. I definitely find that this is the type of floral that I like to wear even in the winter months. I like pulling something like this out for that burst of energy. It's very pretty. So I haven't tried the other scents from Yosh. I think I actually looked up the fragrance house and I was like, I think they only have a couple other ones, and I was like, nothing grabs me like this one does, but maybe I would sample a couple others at some point in time. But this one is definitely one that I would recommend. Now, I would just like to give a nod to Olfactif and their scent subscription. They, by the way, don't know I'm doing this video. It's not sponsored in any way. I wish it was. But even though I have stopped my fragrance subscription for right now, I think it was such a fun way to find fragrance houses that I never would have tried before. So if you are diving into the fragrance world and you want a way to try some things that you probably never would, it's a great subscription service. Now, the one thing is you get what you get, right? It's not like, oh, I get to pick things every month like Scentbird or something like that, but you will find fragrance houses that aren't on Scentbird at all, that you've never heard of, fragrances that are super fun. There are two in here that I found through Olfactif, and they do have, they call it I think it's like a men's, a women's, and then they have a combined fragrance subscription every month. When I first started out, I did the combined fragrance sampler because it was a fun way for Jeremy and I to have like a date night trying a few scents together. He definitely got a lot of scent samples out of that to keep, which is great. And then I switched over to the women's just for myself. And then eventually I was like, whoa, I just really need to use a lot of these. But I honestly, I don't even know. I probably should have done a running count in my ranking all of the fragrances that I bought last year because quite a few of them were from Olfactif. So if you want to check them out, I will link down below. Again, it's not a referral. I don't earn anything from it. This is just one fragrance lover giving a shout out, giving you an opportunity. If you are a fragrance lover or you're looking to try some new scents, you know, it's a fun way to branch out and try something. I don't think that either of the scents that are in here that I have picked, I would have ever tried on my own, and I love them. All right, lovelies, that's going to be it. Please let me know what your top summer scents are. Do you think that I had a random mix of things? I think that we have a little bit of new, a little bit of old. We have some inexpensive ones. We have some that maybe aren't so inexpensive. Sorry about that, but I love them all. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a like on your way out. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I love having fragrance chit chat with all of you, and I will see you really soon.